learners through this whole process. So I want to welcome you to this. I'm Harrison Collier. I'm the Director of Clinical Experiences, as well as Accreditation Assessment in the undergraduate chair. So I do want to welcome you. And this is my lovely face. And if I do this, as I told our lovely student teachers, I'm not creeping. I'm just trying to see you all, because it's, you know, the screen is only so big, so much real estate, and I have such, well, my eyes are my eyes. I can't do anything about that. That's what God gave me. So when I do that, please know that I'm not being creepy. Most of the time, though, you're going to see my screen, and that's probably a blessing for you all. So wonderful. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and we're going to get started here. All right, can everyone see? Yes? Thumbs up? Okay, very good. All right, so we certainly, mentors, welcome you to the School of Education, and we want to thank you so much for really, I'm going to type this right here. Taking on our student teachers in what is a really, really challenging time. And so our hope is that this 1 hour meeting, we can answer some of your questions. Some things will be, don't answer questions or we don't get to them. If you'll go ahead and type any questions that you have, and that's also for you student teachers as I talk about things. If you find there's some things that we're not talking about, we've got Tara Dubay, and I'll introduce her in just a second, on the helm here to kind of make sure that those get funneled through as best they can. And if not, then we may end up doing some kind of frequently asked questions. Hopefully, you opened the link that had some of the supporting materials that I'm going to talk about and use reference during this particular presentation. My hope is that you'll get a chance to look at those, and then you'll find that I've numbered them for you to help you through that whole situation. If I can get this together, next one. Oh, there it is. All right, so this is our student teacher orientation. Again, I'm Harrison Collier. I'm the Director of Accreditation Assessment, Clinical Experiences, and Undergraduate Chair. Ms. Tara Dubay, and I hope she's waiting if you can see her. She is our clinical coordinator. She has really done a lot of reaching out to you and to try to make these placements possible. And she's done just an outstanding job and is such an asset to our School of Education. Kara, did you want to say anything?
Sure. Hello, everyone, and thanks for coming. And it's good to see some faces with the names, because I spend some time emailing with you, and you know, I recognize names, but it's nice to see faces. So welcome, and thank you again for being on board with us. We know and completely recognize that it's a very challenging time for everyone, and it's challenging especially for teachers and especially for parents. So some of you are probably filling in both of those roles of parent and teacher. And so we always appreciate you, but we are especially thankful right now that you're willing to help the Mount and our soon to be teachers get experience. And we're just thankful for all your mentoring. So, and we're here if you have any questions, like Harrison said. So thank you again.
We also have with us Ms. Jenny Cunningham. She's our administrative assistant, and she will be your best friend as we start to, again, looking at the end in mind, looking toward the end of the semester, and we start to process stipend payments. Did you want to say something, Jenny?
Just welcome everyone. Thanks for partnering with us again this year. I see familiar faces. I see new faces. I hope that the familiar faces see me as a friendly, welcoming face where if you have questions, call me, email me, whatever works best for you, works well for me, and we'll get through this together.
Very good. We also have some of our faculty members who are joining us. And I won't call on each one. I'll announce them and they can wave, but I won't, I won't ask them to say anything. But I would like to introduce Dr. Saylor, our Dean at the School of Education. I know she had some perhaps welcoming remarks.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Harrison. Just to reiterate the gratitude and the thanks to all of you for the good work that you do each day. And for, I know right now a lot of teachers aren't always feeling super appreciated, and pandemic or no pandemic, what you do is a real gift for our world. Our motto, or one of the things that we often say in the School of Education, is we prepare students to go into the world and not just teach, not just be able to give a great lesson, but also to change children's lives, impact communities, and transform the world. And you all are already doing that. And I'm just so grateful to all of you for your good work. And then doubly grateful that you're willing, on top of everything you already do, to host our candidates. So just a whole lot of gratitude, and just also to reiterate that, another thing we often will say at the Mount is no one's allowed to suffer in silence. So for even a minute, you are feeling like this is not this form I'm struggling with, or I don't know how to handle this situation. Don't spend too much time with struggling with it by yourself. Please reach out and know that we're here. We want to be really supportive of you always, but especially during this challenging time. So just gratitude, and just know we're here, and thank you. That's all.
Thank you, Laura. 3 of faculty members are associated with our student teaching program this year, in that they will become key faculty. And so during the student teaching seminars, when I meet with just the student teachers on Tuesday evenings, we have them engage in a process of looking at their teaching, learning how to prepare lessons, how to instruct, and how to give feedback. And so we have some outside faculty who come and work with those students, and we'll work with them during our meetings and breakout sessions to talk about EdTPA. And I'll talk a little bit about that later on. But Ms. Denise Cagle is going to be our key faculty for special education. Dr. Michael Bendis will be key faculty for secondary and middle school education this semester. And Ms. Lucy Collier will be the key faculty working with the early childhood education students. So sometimes they'll have some time with me, and sometimes they'll have time with the key faculty. So we certainly welcome them. And we also have with us tonight Ms. Kenitha Schmitz. She's the director of the Early Childhood and Special Education Master's Programs. So she is a great part of this endeavor, as well as her students finish up student teaching, usually in the second semester for the full-time students. So we want to thank our partner schools. Again, we can't thank you enough. Dr. Saylor was correct when she said gratitude is the word of the day, because how do we continue our profession to a high level if we don't have well-prepared teachers? But for you, we would not have them, because we can do all the kind of covering of curriculum and testing and all that, but if students don't have a chance to actually apply that in your classrooms and in your particular situations, they're never going to make it. So we thank you so much to the schools and to you, our mentor teacher partners, in helping us with this. So we have some new things going on this semester at Mount St. Joseph, and some you might be interested in mentor teachers as you think about, continuing your career path as well. And again, for our also student teachers, because, after you get your teaching degree, there's always some other programs you can go into and to advance your license. So we have some new endorsements now, coupled with a new Master of Arts in Educational Studies. That start date will be next year. We have a teacher leader endorsement. We've got a gifted, talented endorsement K-12. And you can always take those and bind them together and combine a few more classes to have a master's degree, if any of you are interested in that kind of thing. Already approved We also have our pre-K special needs endorsement. So if you've got an early childhood certificate or you've got a special education K-12, if you want to add that to your license, we have that program. We have a reading endorsement K-12, and we're very proud of our reading program at Mount St. Joseph. We're very much into the science of reading. And because we know it works, we know children learn when they're given these structures, and the state has begun to see it as well, and they've actually asked us to create model syllabi for the reading programs for around the state for some of the universities. So it's pretty exciting. As a matter of fact, it's so exciting that we're actually beginning a doctorate in reading science, and that'll start in the summer, I think, of 2021. So that's pretty exciting. And we found out from the National Council on Teacher Quality that the reading program at Mount St. Joseph's has received an A+ rating. And that's only one of 18 universities throughout the nation that has that distinction. So we're pretty dang proud of that. What it means is that because we focus on that science of reading in our master's programs, we've also made sure our undergrads have that basis as well. And so school districts are beginning to seek out some of our students for that purpose. And we're just so excited. We're kind of growing by leaps and bounds this particular semester. We have some new faculty. Oh my goodness, we have some new faculty. We have Miss Maria Aielli, who was part-time last year. She'll be full-time in special ed. Dr. Megan Dennison in special education is joining us. Dr. Jennifer Keeler in reading science. Ms. Lucy Collier will now be part of the early childhood education faculty, and Dr. Stephanie Stoller will be joining us for reading science, again in preparation for that doctoral program. So lots of great things. And what else is new this semester? Well, a pandemic is kind of happening, right? So that's something for us to really think about, that it's important we acknowledge that specter that is following us. And so let's talk a little bit about this, try to front load some of this. First of all, again, you see the big words, thank you very, very much, right? We can't do this without you. And especially in this stressful time, when we know there are lots of stressors placed upon you, you know, we're hoping that this becomes a learning situation for all of us, that we come out much better prepared professionals, and thinking a new way and being innovative. So we thank you so much. So when we think about COVID-19, of course, our safety and health of all the participants in this process are paramount. I mean, the safety and health of our students, the safety and health of you mentor teachers, the safety and health of your students, right? So all of us are mindfully aware of that. So, you know, our student teacher candidates will follow the COVID policies of the schools and of the university, and taking the most restrictive measures, the standards. So that is to say, if one set of rules are a little more tightly wound than another, we're going to follow the more tightly wound measure, right? So it's important that the student teachers know the policy, COVID policy. We're going to encourage them to find the COVID booklets that have been put out by the various schools and districts to figure out what that is. And we're going to rely upon you mentor teachers to help them with that. Meanwhile, they can also tell you about what our COVID procedures are that have been released by our university. If we take great care in following those, hopefully we'll all stay safe and healthy. A big question we have is like, what about observations? I mean, how's that going to work this particular semester? Well, we normally require 8 observations, 4 from mentor teachers, 4 from the supervisor. And just to the strain on the system, we're going to reduce that to